Okay, it's time to tell the truth and come clean a little bit. So far this season, my name's James Robinson and I've been struggling off the tee. So much so, I'm contemplating throwing away my driver and putting a driver in the bag, which, let's face it, could well be an absolute game changer. It's easy to use, looks fantastic, sounds brilliant, and to be honest, it's probably one of the most underrated clubs of 2023. This bad boy. Now, I've got good reason for this. You see, I'm a new dad, I haven't got time to practice, I'm very, very busy with all things work and everything else, but I want to hit fairways, I want to play good golf. I'm not that bothered at the moment about smashing it as far as I physically can, although it would be nice. And a big problem that I have, and it's not so much a problem, but an issue, is that tomorrow I'm going and playing one of the best golf courses, not just in the north of England, not just in England, not just in Europe, in the world. I am playing host to the 2026 Open Championship venue, Birkdale, or Royal Birkdale, should I say. And the last thing I want to do is go and spray the ball here, there, and everywhere, lose a load of balls, and really struggle off the tee. Right, this video hasn't started as I would have liked it to. That one's gone left. But you see, I certainly think that with this mini driver, I have more confidence here to be able to stand on some tees and hit shots a little bit straighter. I feel like I can hit them a little bit harder. I feel like I don't have to really work. Oh dear. But I feel like with this mini driver, I can just stand up on a tee. I can make an okay golf swing. I'm not thinking about smashing it out the park. Today we're going to test this both here in the simulator and out on the golf course just to see exactly if it should be going in my bag. You see, ball flights like that make me think, why on earth wouldn't you put it in your bag? A nice fade straight down the middle. That one's gone 273 yards, spinning at 1900. What more do I want? And numbers almost aren't the reason why I'm making this video, because if it was just about numbers, I'd put this down, I'd get this back out, and I would be trying to hit this as hard as I physically could. Because you see, this is the perfect place to test out this driver. I'm playing Royal Birkdale tomorrow. I don't know if I've said that, Royal Birkdale tomorrow, Chris. Host of the 2026 Open Championship. We're out here, it's a little bit windy, the ground is a little bit runny, so I'm going to go Paradigm Triple Diamond first. I'm just going to try and hit them hard. In fact, no, I'm going to try and hit them in play, because the whole point of the mini driver is to get the ball in play. So that is what we're going to do. Then we're going to get down there and see what the differences are. Is one in play? Is one out of play? Are they both out of play? Because if that's the case, I might not bother going tomorrow, to be honest. But come on, start at that bunker and just move in nicely. We're not going to try and do too much with this. Just a nice simple swing. That is one of the best drives I've hit probably all year. And maybe it's taken me to think, right, do I need to take a full-size driver out of the bag? Do I need to think about maybe changing driver to something else? To think, you know what, all I need to do is actually start putting good golf swings on these, start going through your checkpoints, going through your takeaway, are you loading properly, is your transition as it should be? Does anybody else get to this stage come July? Right, properly into the wind now. We're not going to get past that and we're not going to hit it straighter than it. But nice and consistent, a nice little toey shot there actually. That's trundling down the left-hand side, and that's a shot which for me, I wonder, could that be a better shot for links golf than a full-blooded driver? Let's jump back in the Golf Sun Simulator, let's hit a couple more of these and see what just numbers we are getting, and I'll show you where these balls have finished, because this ain't over. As I physically could. Okay, now that's one of the anomalies. That's gone 290 yards straight down the 1800 spin. Like looking at those two lots of numbers, as you can see, distance 274, 290, but two very different golf swings, two very different clubs. You can see 15 yards difference there. Launch angle's a little bit different as well. Ball speed 5 mile an hour different. And spin rates over here, you can see 1900 and 1800. So although that does put the cat very amongst the pigeons, my logic really here is fairways are going to be bone dry for the next 2 or 3 months here in the UK. It's generally what we're starting to see now in summer. This thing for me looks fantastic. It's jam-packed full of technology. It's shorter in the shaft, so it's easier to control. It's got a little bit more loft, but as you can see, I have lowered the loft because it could get windy tomorrow at Birkdale. It is a links course after all, and it is hosting the Open in 2026. So I'm going to do you guys a video on the closing 5 holes at Birkdale to see what I would do if I was in the running to win the Open. Not something I've ever heard before, and probably not something I'll ever say again, but I certainly feel like if I was on the defensive, not necessarily the attack, this would be the club for me that would help me do that. You'll see we have got that heavy movable weight in the front of the club towards the speed pocket. That's designed to lower CG a little bit. I have got it set on kind of its beast mode, as it were, so it should be able to perform pretty well. But then if I start and try and absolutely smash this out the park, it really takes away from anything. I might as well just have the normal Paradigm triple diamond in the bag. Like, the swing I'm going to put on this tomorrow is this. As you can see there, not a lot of movement in the air. Nice big high fade. That's going to pitch around 250, 255 and run up to around 260, 265. Exactly what I would hope for. That spun at 3,000. I didn't quite catch that very well, but it's in play, it's in the fairway. If I try and kind of like turn this over, it still sort of stays in play a bit. Yeah, that's drawing towards the net on the golf zone, but that's just a missed fairway. That's going to pitch around 260. I don't feel like it's going to get me in any real danger, especially if I can just hit bullet straight shots like that. Now, it's okay saying that here on the Golf Zone Sim, I can hit these balls as hard as I want. That one's gone 280 yards with a mini driver, spinning at 1800 once again. But we have to test this out on the golf course in the elements. That's where I'm going to make my mind up as to what driver I'm taking tomorrow. So without any further ado, let's jump out on the course and see exactly what is going in the bag. So more really interesting numbers there, really interesting figures that could help me potentially think about what club to have in the bag for tomorrow. We can see the mini driver there on the left side of the fairway. We've got the Paradigm, let's be fair, 20 or 25 yards further up there. Bank smack in the middle. Am I thinking negatively? Should I just kind of stick with what's in the bag and make sure I just play good golf? Or am I thinking actually, percentage-wise, I'm definitely going to hit more fairways with that. Probably going to keep the ball in play. If I'm going to enjoy myself a bit more, am I overthinking it? We're also not thinking about the party trick that the mini driver does have. You see, I'd really struggle to do this with a Paradigm. Oh, look at that! On for 2 on the par 5. Yes, please. Mini driver, mini driver. What a ball flight. Right, and the pattern ball does live on. Guys, this is one of the tightest golf holes, certainly in Sheffield, maybe in Yorkshire, maybe the world, who knows. I'm going to hit 3 shots with the mini driver down here and just try and keep them all in play. Just try, this might be the method actually for me to get my golf swing back in check, stop thinking so much about drives and start thinking more about delivery positions and angles. See, for that is perfect. Chris, how good's that? That is literally down the flag, hasn't moved in the air, and I'm just thinking, I've even got a thumbs up, that is incredible. I'm even just thinking about slowing it down. And we've done a video on our second channel, Get Good at Golf, on this, guy, so I'll link it in the description, but thinking more about rhythm than speed. Because with good rhythm and with good sequencing comes speed anyway. That's another one exactly the same. That is frighteningly straight. Guys, I'm going to throw you both those shot traces on screen now. And they're exactly the same. The second one was a touch higher. This is for the hat trick in the tightest hole ever. Oh, come back. That one's faded back. That was Healy, and it is going down the left-hand side of the fairway. I think that is mine made up for me tomorrow, which drive to take to Royal Birkdale. Try and shoot its lights out, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see that video. Apart from that, I'll see you all at exactly the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.